Hi my beautiful stars, I hope that you're doing so well today. If you're new here, welcome to my channel and welcome to Molli-Ween. Today I have my most favorite and best horror slash thriller Halloween movies that you should watch this October. I do this video every Molli-Ween and I love just sharing movies that I've either recently discovered myself. I just love sharing them with you all and my thoughts on them to try and sway you into watching them. If you've seen any of these, definitely comment down below. I think some of these might be repeats from prior lists, but it just means that they're really good. So let's get into it. Starting with number 1 is Ghost Ship. So I think I have talked about this one before. It might have been in my first ever Halloween movie video that I recommended, or Halloween movie video. There we go. Something about this movie, I get so excited when I see that it's on TV. AMC has some of the best movie lineups, I swear. They play some of the most underrated films and I love the vibes that Ghost Ship gives. They don't make movies like it anymore. So Ghost Ship, House on a Haunted Hill, from that era as well. There is an older House on a Haunted Hill, but those two for sure. Not gothic, but there's just something so kind of grungy about it, I guess. And I don't know if it's just the director's style or what, but Ghost Ship, the opening scene is so unlike any other I've ever seen before. If you have not seen Ghost Ship, I highly recommend. The storyline is crazy. I feel like it doesn't get enough recognition. It's very gory, and of course I think that there's some parts that maybe make it not the best movie ever, but honestly I think they did a really good job. There's a plot twist at the end that you don't expect. It's a movie that you can watch and watch again and you catch new things every time. So I really recommend this one. There's a lot of details in the movie that I think are just so perfect for the story. It's just very eerie, so 100% recommend that. The next one is The Final Girls. This one was released a couple of years ago and I finally watched it for the first time last year. It actually made me cry just because of the storyline. It's between a mother and a daughter, and her mom starred in this slasher film, kind of like Friday the 13th vibes, because it was at a camp. Her mom and her get in a car accident. The girl ends up in the movie that her mom starred in, but they're playing their characters, so her mom doesn't know that that's her daughter, kind of thing. And I just love the story. It has a lot of stars in it. There's Chloe Bridges, I think Adam Devine, is he in that? Nina Dobrev is in it. That's a really good one. I've seen it on some streaming services and I just recommend that one if you want something kind of different. It does a little bit remind me of Happy Death Day, which is another good one. Those two movies are really good, and another one that is on my list. So let's just get going on to the next ones. My third movie that I'd recommend is 13 Ghosts. This one I've only seen twice because the first time I watched it I swore I'd never see it again because it really messed me up. I don't know what it is about it. Again, that era of movies, Ghost Ship, 13 Ghosts is another one, House on a Haunted Hill. There's just something so unsettling about that movie that it's just, I don't know if it's all the gore or if it's the ghost flickering in and out with the glasses on. It's just such a weird concept movie, but I do recommend it because I feel if you've never seen it before, you're gonna be what the heck was that I just watched? So I recommend that one. Matthew Lillard is in that movie and a bunch of other people from the 90s and early 2000s that you might recognize. That one has been on actual cable TV, AMC has been playing it, but I do believe it's on streaming services too. The next one is Bride of Chucky. I love how I don't know if it's necessarily camp, but there's just something so cheesy but good about it, and I love Jennifer Tilly in this movie. I've never seen her in a role like this, but she plays it so well. I don't know, I feel it's my favorite Chucky movie. I've seen the first one, I think I've seen The Seed of Chucky. This one, there's just something about it that makes me want to rewatch it every single season. So another is just the Scream franchise. I've talked about the Scream franchise. It's my absolute top favorite horror slasher films ever, but on Paramount Plus they do have the most recent ones released, so I do recommend the most recent ones. Of course I recommend the older ones too, but I've talked about those before. So why I recommend the newer ones if you've been boycotting them for any reason? Well, the fifth one, it does have Dewey and Sydney and of course Gale Weathers. There's a whole new cast, but then there's some of the legendary people. The story, I did not expect the turn it took at the end. Did not expect the killers to be who they were, and I just think that's a really good one. And then the sixth one, I actually really like that one more than the fifth one. It still follows the two main new girls. They're sisters. They're the Carpenter sisters. It's based in New York City, completely different area. It's not in Woodsboro anymore, and it's placed around Halloween, and I just think that there's something so creepy about it. There's another really big plot twist at the end. I really like this one. It's so camp. It's My Best Friend's Exorcism. This is based on the book book called My Best Friend's Exorcism by Grady Hendrix. A few of Grady Hendrix's books are actually being adapted into movies and TV shows, I believe. This is on Amazon Prime. If you like 80s like slasher like horror movies, it's not necessarily scary. If you've read the book, I think watching the movie is just kind of fun to see it come to life. There's a lot of parts that are like the book, a lot that aren't, but this is just one that if you want it kind of in the background, it's not, again, super scary, but it has that like, exorcism piece, some like occult stuff, a little creepy, a little spooky. Next is the Insidious The Last Key, and then the third chapter. I always forget about Insidious The Last Key, and then I remember, I think I saw it in theaters and I was like, wait, why do I remember seeing this? It's so different than any of the other Insidious movies. I mean, of course there's like the Beyond through like the Red Door kind of thing. It follows more Elaine, is that her name? And she's the one that is like the medium that helps the family in the first two movies. I really like those first two, but the third one is so incredibly creepy. So the third chapter is about, her name's Quinn. She wants to find her mom because she's passed away. She goes to see Elaine about reaching out to her mom, but Elaine had lost her husband most recently, so she was just not really into going to the further, talking to people and using her gifts. But she decided to reach out, and she felt that there was a darker presence that was following Quinn because Quinn had been reaching out on her own to talk to her mom. A lot of people talk about this in like the supernatural community. You are like trying to reach out to somebody on the other side, they all hear you kind of thing, which is so creepy. And I love that they played that into this movie because it is a real thing. I've seen it happen before. It's so creepy, and I think it hits it dead on. Fourth one is about Elaine again, but it's about her family. We learn a little bit more about her loss and her gifts and how long she's had them. I love just like the different decades it's placed in, and it's really, really good. So I strongly recommend those two. The next one is actually a mini series, and it was my first time ever knowing about it and watching it. It's called Rose Red. It's written by Stephen King. It was not a book, I believe, but it was just a TV show that he wanted to be created. It's on Hulu right now, and it stars Kimberly J. Brown, who plays Marnie Piper in the Halloween Town movies. Love her, and she is just in such a different role in this movie. She plays like a psychic medium. She also has the ability to move things with her mind. Also, if you are a big fan of the show Yellow Jackets, the girl that plays Shauna, Melanie Linsky, is in this movie, and a bunch of other people that you'll recognize from the 90s and the early 2000s. This is such a creepy show. There's 3 parts. They're each like a little over an hour long in true Stephen King fashion. And if you like It by Stephen King, like the one from 1990, then I'd recommend this one for you because it feels very similar to that film. The next one is Fresh. This is a Hulu original. This one is so... It is so creepy. This is unlike any other film that I've put on this list. It's about a cannibal. He specifically hunts down women to auction them off in parts to people that are also cannibals. It is so creepy. It stars Sebastian Stan. It left me having to like turn away and not watch certain parts because it was just so gruesome. But if you like stuff like that, if you like gore, I would recommend it. The acting is really good. It's a story that's very haunting. The last one on my list is a new release of 2023. It just released literally like last week, and it's called Totally Killer. It's on Prime Video as well. And this one stars Kiernan Shipka, and I love this. I've never seen her in a role like this before. She is just so strong and such a great actress for roles like this. It's kind of like Happy Death Day. There is a time traveling piece with it. The person that directed this movie did direct Megan and Happy Death Day, so there is that vibe to it. I haven't seen Megan yet, but I know it's on some streaming services. Totally Killer is about this Sweet 16 killer. He is coming after her mom and then these other girls that he killed back in the 80s when her mom was a teenager, and she travels back in time and tries to stop the murders from happening. This is a really good one. Definitely a little bit of a twist towards the end, and there's a lot of just like unexpected things, and especially watching a newer released horror film is so exciting. So those are my few that I recommend watching this season if you're looking for something a little spooky and you may have not watched yet. Comment down below if you've ever seen any of these and your favorite from this list, and any of your recommendations too. I love to hear them. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Until then, shine bright. Bye!